Um, the recommendation system is widely used in our daily life, but there are some problems about the existing recommendation system. Um, uh, the first is it will recommendation some users information to the users. For example, if someone downloads some apps such as a music player from the Apple Store, and the recommendation system will recommend some other kinds of the music players to the users. But we know that for each device, it only need one music player, so that will be useless for the users. And the other problem is it's a lack of the real life recommendation system. Um, for example, if someone go to some unfamiliar place to watch a movie, and after he or she watch the movies, he or she want to eat some things, but he cannot find which place have the foods he like the most. So a real life recommendation system is really in need, and the background knowledge about this project is the first is a correlation coefficient. Um, uh, about this kind of things will be used to find the relationship between different kinds of things. And after find the correlation coefficient, we can determine the which kind of things will be recommendation for the users. And the second part is the programming part. And the method and tools will be used in this project. The first is um, get which kinds of status. At first, I want to start with the food and movies because the information about this kind of products is much easier to get. And the first try, I want to get the relationship between those two kinds of things directly. So I read some papers and some other kind of project, but the number of the conclusion is very few. So another try is add a new variables like the characteristic of the different kinds of peoples, and I get a conclusion like that. There are some relationship between different kinds of um, movies and different kinds of characteristics, and there are also some relationship between different kinds of the characteristics and the different kinds of the um, foods. So the relationship between different kinds of movies and different kinds of food will also be determined. After that, I find it also have some problems because the result about this kind of things is mm, not clear. So the range of the conclusion is so huge for each kind of characteristic will refer to a lot of foods or a lot of movies. So it's not such useful. And the third try is to collection the data from the social applications. And the first, we need to determine which kinds of the social applications will be used. At first, I want to start with the Facebook, but I found the there is also a problem about that. If I want to search the keywords in the Facebook, I can just get the information from the users which I make a friends. Um, so I changed to another social applications named Weibo, which is be widely used in the mainland. And in the Weibo, if I search some keywords and all the user status contains these kinds of the keywords will be shown to us. And I can collection data easily. And after determining which kind of the social applications will be used, um, I I should determine which kinds of the data I should be collected. And I found a Excel like this, and the column is different kinds of food. For this Excel, it's just separated the food with the countries, and the row of the Excel is different kinds of the movies, and I just use a little part of the Excel to explain which kinds of data I should collect about. Here is is a kind of movie named Drama, and here is a kind of Chinese food. Um, and the red part is the numbers of the users who both like these two kinds of things. And the blue part is the user's number who just like this kind of movie but dislike this kind of food. And the green part is the user's number who just like this kind of food but don't like this kinds of movies. And the gray part is the user's number dislike both of them. And the red part will be at the coefficient correlation coefficient in the red part. After find whole numbers of different kinds of the relationship, I can find a lot of the correlation coefficients and compare different kinds of the correlation coefficients. I can recommend a good choice for the users. And after determining which kinds of the data I should collect it, the next step is to determine use which kind of the tools to collection the data. First, I want to use the Beautiful Soup, which is a um, model program part of the Python, which can catch the information from the web page. But after I use that, I found it will collect a lot of users' information from the web page, such as the friends' recommendation or some advertisements in the page. And then I found another useful tool is named ParsHub. In ParsHub, uh, it can collection the data, just which part you want to collect it. For example, I want to collect the usernames and the user status and the time of the status the user post. So I just click those kind of things, and the ParsHub will choose the same kinds of the data same kinds of the data for me. And the PassHub also can change the web page and also can input something um, for for me. So the flow of our project will be the first determine which kinds of the movie and the foods I want to search about, and second, tell the PassHub about this kind of movie or foods, and let PassHub to collection data from the Weibo. And the second part, and the third part is uh, collected the data from the PassHub and added it into the program to count the numbers of the keywords and add it into the Excels. And the result of the uh, and the result now is I can catch the information from the user status by PassUp correctly and can count the number of the keywords which is be shown in the user status, which is be stored in the txt which PassUp catch about, and I can change the data in the Excel, which means I can count the number in those Excel and find the correlation coefficient with the change of the numbers. And the future work will be that the first is to solve the problem that's about the user's emotion. It means for some users, they will use some emoji or some pictures to show their emotion, so it will be hard to determine the user like or dislike about this kind of things. And the second part is need to collect more relationship between other products, such as clothes and the electronic devices, which will also be widely used in our daily life. And the third part is realize it in our phone. And I think I will start with the Android part. Um, the first part is about the image recognition technology. It just like I have mentioned about, I want to um, solve the problem that the user's emotion, which some users will use a picture to show their like or dislike, and and another useful things is it can also double check which kinds of the products the users share about, and the reference here is just the most important one. Uh, it's about how I can think about the customer analytics and fund this kind of project. At the end, I would like to express my great appreciation to Professor Pascal and Mr. Evan for their kind supervision. Which, pause.